So I am going to try to hold this as still as possible. I apologize. My camera skills as far as videos are not that good. So I was just walking back to just to the end of my walk, and I see a man. He's obviously, I don't like to call them homeless because I feel that sometimes they're home, they choose their home. Just to say, this guy looked like he had a rough life. He looked really rough around the edges. He had a big tattoo over his left eye, his right eye actually, bald, older man, very, very, very tough, his vibe was very, very black. It was dark, it was mad, it was upset, it was lonely. And for some reason I felt the need to say hi to him. He was walking to the water in front of me and he was washing his feet off in the water. But it was about 5 or 6 in the morning, obviously. I mean, it actually was more like 6:30. It just happened. And I asked him how he was. Or I just said, no, I said good morning. And he said, he didn't reply back at first. It took him about, say, 15 seconds. And then he said, he's walking back to his shoes at that point that were sitting up on the sand. And he goes, it is a good morning. You could tell he was caught off guard that I talked to him even to begin with. It didn't actually register to him. It's why it took him a moment, or for other reasons, I should say, too. And I usually don't typically do this. I've been learning not to just say hi to people, because sometimes when they don't say hi back, my feelings get hurt. I can feel why they're upset, or I feel their vibes, and I am very, very intuitive and very, very, I pick up a lot of stuff. I can pick up your energy. I can pick up everything. My emotions are more extreme than I'd say most. There's no comparison, but I'd say I'm very, very, very sensitive, and that's okay. So he said, it is a good morning, isn't it? And I felt the need to say, it is. And he said, probably about a minute later, I'm still walking in, he goes, well, the sun's out. And I could hear him kind of in the distance, and I yelled, I said, and we're alive, and I put my arms up towards the sky. And I'd say about 30 seconds went by, and I continued to walk, and he continued to walk towards his shoes, and he looks at me, because I look back, and he goes, that's not always a good thing. And then he keeps on with his day, and it just made me feel for him. I know how it feels to not want to be alive. And there's a lot of things in life, or things that I want to share, that I can say I don't want to be judged for them, so I'm gonna just tread lightly. But I unfortunately understand many, many times. I think at 33 I finally want to be alive. I've never lived. I didn't know what living was. I'm sad but true. I understood, and I looked at him and I shook my head. I said, I know. I'm just so thankful that my outlook on life is so different. Sometimes we need guidance. Sometimes, when there's nothing, you could be alone in a room full of friends, and that's the toughest thing. When you have everybody around you wanting to support you and everything, but you are still alone because your loneliness is not people loneliness. Your loneliness is your soul. And you feel like, I gotta let it go, and I gotta leave this at the beach, but it's hard to say that I understand. And I'm just gonna keep walking, gonna put my feet in the water, I'm gonna wash it off, wash all this energy off me. Usually I recharge. I don't typically take on worry and anxiety and upset and darkness while I'm walking. It's usually a positive thing for me, but I can feel him. I felt his vibe, I felt his energy. And this is one of the times that I let it insert itself into me, but I have to tell myself, and you have to tell yourself this too. When you see somebody in need, or you see somebody, let's say, on the side of the street, you could tell they've been sleeping out there and such, I know a lot of people get really upset, or you get saddened for them, and you worry about them, but you gotta worry about yourself and your own mental health. It's not for you to worry about. All you can do is do things like I'm doing, recycling and doing care boxes and making lunches for them and such, and giving them a little bit of happiness. I know it's not much, but to know that somebody cares, especially when it's from somebody who actually really does and isn't just doing it for volunteer hours. I'm doing this because I know I can feel that they need a little connection, just a little bit of connection with life, a little bit of the outside of the norm. And well, I'm just gonna leave this here. I gotta wash this off. I gotta wash off these vibes. I gotta wash off this energy. It just really got to me. I have so much more to say on it, but I just don't know if it's gonna be accepted, or I know it's needed. The raw truth, the raw, horrible, nasty, dark truth about where our minds go when we're lost, when we're sad, when we're angry, when we're upset, when we're in a room full of friends, but we feel more alone than if we were alone. That's the worst. When you can't tell, you can't talk about it, you're going to be judged. This is what you feel inside, and you don't want to share all your darkness with people sometimes, because then they don't want to be around you. I know about 2 months ago, probably for the last 10 years of my life, I radiated negativity, radiated it, Debbie Downer, everything. You could probably anticipate what was going to come out of my mouth, because it was always going to be opposite of what you were saying, defensive, on the edge, fight or flight. That was me every freaking day. But it was more of doing it just not fully existing in the moment and just always being scared. And you don't have to be scared. And, you know, when you find like people who care about your existence, who truly are existing in the moment and will put their phone down when you're hanging out with them, you know, want to make sure your well-being is good, when you actually get that connection with people that you call family, people that turn into family, then that is what, I'm pretty sure that that's him, then that is what, I shouldn't have, that's when you connect. That's when you connect and pull your soul back down to your body, into this realm and back into this earth, and you start to connect again. You start to have a will. You start to have a want to live. I can't stress it enough. I've been there. I want to count 3 times on the floor, not knowing why I want to move forward with life other than not to be selfish, so other people don't have to feel my pain or have to mourn, you know. And you can't be selfish, you know. Other people enjoy your existence, other people love you, other people care about you, other people want to see you happy, and not the fake ones. I mean your real friends. I mean the ones who really care, the ones who are empathetic, the ones who have a heart, the ones who care for your well-being, the ones who pick up your phone call when you call and don't press ignore and send you a text back, you know, and the ones who just reach out to you, the ones who show up, the ones who will drive to you, the ones who, you know, because you reciprocate, because you drive to them, you know. My friends who have come out to visit, I love you guys so much, you know. It's just to know that you care and I'm worth it. You know, I just appreciate everybody. I appreciate everything, and now I appreciate my outlook. And I hope if any of you are feeling down, sad, or full of anxiety or depressed, or like you just want to end it all, because how is this life? How is this life? My life has changed for the better because I wanted it to, and it didn't come from anything other than from within, because I had nowhere else to go but up. I thought I knew what rock bottom was until recently. When you almost lose everything, including your friends and almost your life and almost your job. You really have nowhere to look but within yourself. But some people never get there, and that's the sad part. Some people never get there. Some people just off themselves and never get where they need to get. Never get to feel wanted, never get to feel loved, never get to feel appreciated, or their souls just cannot handle it, and they end it. I don't mean to put a Debbie Downer or a little irk on the weekend, but I just want you to take away from this an appreciation for life. Don't just take my words for it or just hear this. I want you to try to internalize it and just appreciate it and feel my words. I care about your existence, and I truly mean it. I might not know a lot of you. I might know you personally. Some of you are my best friends. Some of you are my family. Some of you are my coworkers. Some of you are just people who happen to randomly find this channel. Just know I care about your existence, because we need you. We need you. This world needs you. The universe needs you. We all need you. Don't be selfish. Give us your existence. Enjoy your existence. If you need guidance on how to get there, please reach out. I'd be more than happy to help. I came a long way. Everything from A to Z on the in-between. I've dealt everything, you know. There's a lot of things maybe I haven't, but I'm pretty well-rounded in a lot of things. So if you ever need somebody to listen, or if you ever, you know,
want to relate, or I don't like to dwell on the past. I move forward from now. I'm not a victim of my past. You don't have to be a victim either, and you don't have to be a victim of life. You can live and you can be happy. It's a choice, but we have to see a reason to want that choice, and I know that comes from within, and sometimes our souls just can't take it and our spirit leaves us. We have to retrieve it back and bring it back and let all those little things that have irked us through life, we have to mend them from within. Nobody can teach us it. It's like sending somebody to rehab. If you send them, they're just going to come back, and most likely they're going to go right back into it eventually, especially when they have no other dealing type of coping mechanisms. Now, if somebody's going because they want to better themselves and they're finding a calling from within, most likely they have a better chance of making it through. And they're likely, because they're finding it from within. Now I truly understand the concept and what that means. So I'm going to cut it here and let it go because there's a loud plane and I need to cut out this. I haven't cried in about a month, and I don't want to dwell on this. So leave this be, learn from it, know you're loved, and your existence is I'm grateful for it, and I have a lot of gratitude for all of us. I love you. Enjoy your weekend. I'm sure I'll be talking to you soon. Many blessings and lots of love.